Good evening, Mr. Emmanuel. Good evening, Mr. Razin. I welcome you to this week market outlook session. So let's go straight to charts. What pairs am I considering trading this week? As you know, my preferred pairs is the gold and GU. So we'll start with gold and GU. Okay, so let's go straight to the chart. So what's my take on gold? I'm looking for buy opportunity on gold this week. So let's start with the weekly time frame. So we can see what we had last week, right? This was last week, and okay, sorry, we're on 4-hour time frame. Let's start with the weekly. So last week candle closed bearish, strongly bearish, and you can see the reason it sold last week. Can you see the reason it sold last week? You can see here we had an hanging man. This is an hanging man, which indicates change in trend from bullish to bearish. That's one of the reasons it sold last week. Also, you notice that we had a fair value gap on the weekly time frame. So that gap, you can see it got filled before price started dropping. So I think that's the reason it sold last week. First, we had an hanging man pattern. Then we had a fair value gap. So you can see that's the reason it sold last week. This week, I'm expecting bullish move on gold. Though the long term is bearish, I'm expecting a short term bullish move on gold. So this week, I'm considering buying gold. So let's go down to daily. What do we have on daily? So last Friday candle closed bearish after breaking out from a support. It broke out from a support. Well, you see where price is now. I think this resistance turn support is the reason for this little rejection we saw on Friday. We also had, there's a support here. So this is my demand zone. Okay, this is my demand zone. If a candle closes below this level, 1927.70, we should expect more bearish move on gold. So if I would be buying gold, my stop loss will be at this level. This is where I'll set my stop loss, because I know that anything that makes price breaks this level, then there's a high probability that price will keep going down. So I would set my stop loss here at this level. So let's go down to 4-hour time frame. So you can see the reasons why I'm considering buying gold. This supports resistance on support. Okay, so this is the reason I'm considering buying gold this week. Let's go to 4-hour. On 4-hour, we have a candlestick pattern here indicating change in trend. Can you see that? This is a spinning bottom indicating change in trend from bearish to bullish. If you go back here, you see what we had here. We had a support here. Can you see this? This was a support. Can you see that? So this is what is holding price now. This is what is holding price. Okay, so let's go down to 1 hour. What do we have on 1 hour? Now, after identifying, what's it called? The candlestick pattern on 4-hour, after confirming that we have a bullish reversal candlestick pattern on 4-hour, we go down to 1 hour. What pattern do we have on 1 hour? Bullish reversal, right? That's the pattern we have on 1 hour. Can you see that? This is an hammer. This is an inverted hammer. This is a spinning bottom, a bullish spinning bottom. So this indicates change in trend from bearish to bullish, and it formed at a support level. Okay, so the first confirmation is the pattern. Second confirmation is support. The candle formed at a support level, okay? So before I jump into buy, I would go down to 15 minutes. On 15 minutes, I want to ensure that price breaks a resistance on 15 minutes. That is when I would execute buy on gold. The markets must be trading above a resistance level on 15 minutes. So let's go down to 15 minutes to identify a resistance level. If there's any pair you want us to analyze together, just drop it in the comment space. So where do we have our resistance on 15 minutes? We have a resistance here. This is one resistance, and this is another resistance on 15 minutes. So if a 4-hour or 1-hour candle closes above this resistance, that is when I will take my first trade on gold. Okay, if a 4-hour or 1-hour closes above this level, I would buy. Okay, this will be my first entry, and this will be my second entry. So that's my take on gold. I'm bullish on gold this week. It might sell on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but Monday, Tuesday, I'm considering buying gold, depending on the candlestick formation above this resistance level on 15 minutes. I hope that is clear. Let's move to the next pair, GBP USD. So start with the weekly. What do we have on the weekly? Last week candle was strongly bearish. This indicates that the long-term trend is bearish. Okay, it indicates that the long-term trend is bearish. Okay, so let's go down to daily. What do we have on daily? You can see what we have on daily. The daily candlestick formation contradicts what we have on the weekly. This is a bullish reversal pattern. This is a spinning bottom, right? Which indicates change in trend from bearish to bullish. So we have a bullish reversal pattern here. Then let's go back. I think it's sitting on, we had the support here. We also had the support here, resistance, non support. So you can see price is sitting on this zone. You can see price is sitting on this zone. So if I'm buying GBP USD, my stop loss would be at this level. My stop loss will be at this level, which is about 50 pips from the current market price. This is where I'll set my stop loss. Okay, so let's go down to 4-hour. After the close of this spinning top, spinning bottom, what do we have on 4-hour? Let's go to 4-hour. So you can see on 4-hour, what candlestick formation is this? This is an hammer, right? Hammer, bearish hammer. The next candle has closed bullish. This confirms that buyers are showing up in the market. You can see why I'm considering buying GBP USD. Okay, so entry. At what price would I execute buy? At what price would I buy GU? The market needs to trade above a resistance on 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's simple. I keep it simple. That's the resistance. 15 minutes, 1 hour candle closes above this resistance. I'll be considering buying GBP USD, and my TP, my first TP, will be at this relative equal high. This is where I'll set my TP, my first TP. This will be my first TP. Are you following? That will be my first TP. So if I take a buy from this point, let's assume a candle close at this price, and I decide to set my stop loss at this level. This is about 50 pips, and my TP is at this level. It is about 67, 69 pips. That's close to 70 pips, which is still okay. Which is still okay. Okay, so that's my take on GU. Is there any other pair you want us to analyze together? Drop it in the comment space. So let's look at Australian dollar USD. It is positively correlated with GU. So if I'm considering buying GU, I'll also be looking for buy opportunity on AUD USD. If we go to the weekly, you will see that the pattern we have on the weekly is similar to what we have on GBP USD. Can you see it? This is the weekly on Australian dollar USD. Let's go to weekly on GBP USD. You can see similar pattern. Can you see it? Let's go to Australian dollar USD. Similar pattern. Okay, so let's go down to daily. What do we have on daily? You can see here we have AMA. This is a bearish AMA. And when you have a bearish AMA in a downward trend, it indicates change in trend from bearish to bullish. But you're always advised to wait for the next candle to close bullish before you buy. You can't just jump in and start buying because you have a bearish AMA. If this was a bullish AMA, one can risk buying. But because this is bearish, we need to wait for the next candle to close bullish to be sure we have enough buyers in the market. Okay, so this is what we have on a daily. What do we have on 4 hour? You can see here we have AMA after formation of several reversal patterns. Can you see this? So last this candle on 4 hour closed bearish. This is a bearish AMA. The next candle closed as a bullish spinning bottom. This tells me that there's a high probability for price to go up. Okay, there's a high probability for price to go up. So at what price would I consider buying? A break of resistance on 1 hour and 15 minutes time frame. That's when I'll consider buying. A break of resistance on 1 hour and 15 minutes time frame. Okay, so here's our resistance. Simple. Here's our resistance on 1 hour. So if 15 minutes or 1 hour candle closes above this resistance, I would consider buying Australian dollar USD. I hope that is clear. What am I working with? Candlestick pattern, resistance, and support. That's all. Candlestick pattern and resistance and support. That's what I'm working with. Which other pair? New Zealand USD. Similar pattern with Australian dollar USD. As you know, they are positively correlated. What do we have here? Doji. This is a doji or spinning bottom, which indicates change in trend from bearish to bullish. You would also see that we have this is a fair value gap. Right. I think that gap has been filled. Okay. And see this level also we had a support here. So this is our demand zone. So if I'm buying New Zealand USD, my stop loss should be few pips below this level. Stop loss should be few pips below this level. Now, we wouldn't just jump in and start buying, right? Because this is a bearish spinning bottom. It's a bearish spinning bottom. Before we buy, we want to be sure we have buyers in the market. And how do we confirm that? The close of the next candle. It has to close bullish before we consider buying, right? It has to close bullish. You can see this level is a key support level. Can you see it? So the support at this level, support at this level, support at this level. You can see it's a key support level. And as we all know, history would always repeat itself. So you can see what we have here on 4 hour. We had a support here. Price tested that level, and there was a rejection from that support. You can see. And what we have here looks like an AMA, right? Looks like an AMA. The next candle closed as a spinning bottom. So at what price would I buy New Zealand USD? Close of a candle above the resistance on 1 hour or 15 minutes. So here do we have resistance on 1 hour? This is the resistance. So if the 1 hour candle closes above this resistance, I'll be considering buying New Zealand USD. And my TP will be, my first TP will be this relative equal highs. We have a lot of stop losses at this level. So they want to clear those stop losses at this level. So that will be my first TP on NZD USD. I hope that is clear. Australian dollar, Euro Aussie. You can see I've done my analysis on Euro Aussie. You see this shaded area is a supply zone. You can see it's a supply zone. Price tested this level. And what do we have here? You can see we have several candles formation here, indicating that the trend is likely going to change. You can see. So if I'm selling from this point, my stop loss will be a few pips above this level, the high of this candle. That's where I'll set my stop loss. So we have a doji here, doji, and this is a shooting star. 3 candlestick pattern indicating that the trend is likely going to change. It's a high probability setup. Okay, so let's go down to 1 hour to identify a support level. Price must close below the support before we consider selling. So we have a support here on 1 hour. 1 hour candle closes below this support level, I will consider selling Euro Aussie. I'll consider selling Euro Aussie. And it's possible they might want to push price up to hunt for the stop losses at this level, because they know a lot of retail traders would have executed sell, right? A lot of retail traders would have executed sell, and their stop loss will be at this high, the high of this candle, or a few pips above the high. So they might want to push price up before pushing it down. Okay, so we should expect that between the Asian and London Open. Should expect that price is going to go up before going down. So don't just jump in and sell. Don't jump in and sell. So I would like to see breakout from this support during London session. Okay, I would like to see the breakout from this support during London session. If it happens during Asian session, I would not execute the trade. I would not execute the trade if it happens during Asian session. It has to be in London session. If it happens during the Asian session, I would wait for price to pull back to a fair value gap during London session before I sell. I hope that is clear. So we looked at gold, GBP USD, Euro Aussie, and Australian dollar USD. We've also looked at New Zealand USD. So the last pair we'll be looking at is, let's look at USD JPY. If you have any pair you want us to analyze together, drop it in the comment space. If you have any question, raise your hand up so that I can unmute you. Okay, so what do we have on USD JPY? You see here we have this is an order block. This is another block. See, this is another block on H4. And you can see what we have here. The last candlestick closed as what? A spinning top. This tells me that USD JPY is going to sell. Okay, it could be short time, For this short-term move, one can make at least 60, 70 pips on this short-term move or pullback. It could be pullback, it could be change in trend. Okay, so we have a spinning top on USDJPY. So I will be considering selling USDJPY this week. So we go down to 1 hour, need to ensure that the candle closes below the support on 15 minutes. Let me go back to 4 hour. The candle should close below a support on 15 minutes. Here is our support on 15 minutes. This is our support on 15 minutes. The candle should close below this demand zone. The candle should close below this demand zone. Okay, so that's my take on USD JPY. Someone said we should look at USD CHF. Okay, USD CHF. USD CHF. Kenny, how you doing? Nice to see you. USD CHF. Where's USD CHF? USD CHF. Okay. As you know, USD CHF is negatively correlated. It's GU, EU, NZD, So if you're looking for buy opportunities on GU, EU, NU, then you should be considering selling USD CHF. So let's start with the weekly time frame. What do we have on the weekly? So here we had what looks like a shooting star, right? And last week candle closed as hammer. This looks like an hammer, right? Let's go down to daily. Okay, you can see how the daily candle closed. Last Friday candle is a spinning top. Can you see that? This is a spinning top. Okay. So after the close of that spinning top, let's go down to 4 hour. What do we have on 4 hour? You see a bearish reversal pattern. We should have a bearish reversal pattern, maybe an engulfing pattern on 4 hour. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay. We had a spinning top here, and this candle engulfed this spinning top. This is a confirmation or indication that the trend is changing from bullish to bearish, right? So I think what played out here, there was a pullback maybe to a fair value gap. This move that we see here, it's like this move was just to fill a fair value gap. Let's go down to lower time frame. You can see that we had a fair value gap here. Can you see that? And that gap has been filled. Can you see that? This is stop loss on this move that you see here was to hunt for stop losses at this level. Can you see that? So this gap has been filled. So I'm expecting a bearish move on USD CHF. Before I sell, this support must be broken. If I would sell USD CHF, this support must be broken. And if I'm selling below this support, my stop loss will be at this level. Because I know anything that makes price breaks this high. If a candle closes above these highs, then there's a probability that price will keep going up. So it makes no sense to hold on to such trade. It's better to just take that small loss and wait for the next opportunity. Okay, so that's my take on USD CHF. I hope that is clear. Do you have any question? Do you have any question? Let's look at the fundamentals for the week. What do we have tomorrow? Any major news? I don't think there's a major news tomorrow. Tomorrow is November 13th. No major news. And that indicates that there won't be much volatility in the market. If there are no major news, most times price will just be in a range. Okay, so you shouldn't expect much volatility tomorrow. Tuesday, I think there's a major news on Tuesday by 2:30 p.m. By 8 a.m., we're expecting news from Great Britain, the Clement Stance change, and from the United States from 2:30 p.m. 2:30 for CPI. So if you're trading USD pairs on Tuesday, you have to be very conservative. Be very conservative. Be very careful trading USD pairs before 2 p.m. 2:30 p.m. Okay, I would advise you wait for the news to be released. If you want to take any trade before news is released, don't risk too much. Don't risk too much. If the normal lot size you use in trading is 0.1, you can use 0.03 on any trade you want to execute before the news is released. Use 0.03. If the news is released and you have a good technical setup, you can execute with the remaining 0.07 lot size. That's how I trade on days when major news is to be released. Okay, so that's my advice. Use small lot size. If you're trading before the news is released, then you can execute more trade after the news is released. Okay, so on Wednesday, what do we have? Australian dollar by 1:30 a.m. Yuan by 3 a.m. GBP CPI 8 a.m. Then we have several news from United States from 2:30 p.m. Core PPI, core retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing Index, PPI, MM, and retail sales. So Wednesday will be very volatile. Okay. On Thursday, what do we have? Employment change from Australia, unemployment rate. Then from the United States, unemployment claims. On Thursday. And on Friday, what do we have? Just from Great Britain, retail sales. Okay, so there's so much fundamentals this week. So much fundamentals. So let's be careful. Let's ensure that we apply good risk and money management. Okay. Moses, analysis on USD JPY not clear. So why do you jump from weekly to 1 hour without considering 4 hour? I switched to 4 hour now, right? On USD JPY. Aside from, did I have a look at the weekly time frame? Okay, from weekly, I think I went down to daily. Yeah, I did. Went down to daily. Had this confirmed the candlestick formation here, which is a spiraling top. Okay. Then I went down to 4 hour. Right. Confirmed this bearish reversal pattern, this engulfing pattern. Right. Before going down to 1 hour to identify a fair value gap on 1 hour. And I said the reason for this pullback was to fill this fair value gap. Okay. Was to fill this fair value gap. So they filled this gap. So I expect price to keep dropping. Yeah, I expect price to keep dropping. Also, we have shift of market structure And you see, this was the last higher low. You can see, this was the last higher low, right? There was a break, shift in market structure. Now, when after a shift in market structure, you expect price to pull back to a fair value gap. And that's what played out here. After shift in market structure, it is expected that price will pull back to fill a fair value gap, which it has done. Okay, so that's why I said I'm considering selling USD CHF. I hope that is clear. Okay, it was USD JPY. USD JPY. Let me go back to USD JPY. So start from the weekly. USD JPY, I didn't even look at the weekly time frame. I didn't look at the weekly time frame. So let's look at it again. So this is the weekly. So here you'd see this was the previous high. And after the formation of this candle, this looks like a spinning top, right? Spinning top. And after the formation of this candle, most retail traders would have executed sell, right? And where would they have their stop loss? The high of this candle. And also you can see at this level, you can see we have stop losses at this level. So I think what they want to achieve with this bullish candle, right, last week candle, was to hunt for the stop losses at this level. That's what I think. Okay, so they might still push price up to clear this level, these highs, before price starts dropping. Okay, let's go to daily. What do we have on daily? So you can see on daily, we had a resistance here. Price tested that resistance, and last Friday candle closed as a spinning top. This is a bullish spinning top. You can't jump in and start selling. Before you sell, the next candle must close bearish. And if the next candle closes bearish, we have what we call double top, which is a bearish reversal pattern, right? If the next candle, that is Monday candle, if it closes bearish, what we have here will be double top, which indicates change in trend from bullish to bearish, right? Let's go down to 4 hour. What do we have on 4 hour? Okay, on 4 hour, we have a spinning top. On 4 hour, we already have a pattern confirming change in trend because this is a bearish spinning top. We don't have to wait for the next candle to close bearish. This is a bearish spinning top. Okay, so before we sell, we should go down to 1 hour and 15 minutes time frame to identify. You can see 1 hour also has already confirmed change in trend from bullish to bearish. We had a bullish spinning top here. We have a bullish spinning top. We have hanging man. You can see these are 3 reversal candlestick pattern. Can you see that? But because the body of these candles is bullish, we would have to wait for the next candle to close bearish. And you can see this candle after the hanging man closed bearish. So on 1 hour and 4 hour, we already have a bearish pattern. So one can risk selling. But before you sell, ensure that a candle closes below a support on 15 minutes. So you can see the support on 15 minutes. You could also identify this previous support. You can work with this zone. Okay, this could be your demand zone. You could also identify this previous support. So you can use this as your demand or use this as your demand. Okay, so you wait for a candle, 15 minutes candle or 1 hour candle to close below this zone before you consider selling. That's my take on USD JPY. Let's see what we have on 5 minutes. So I think on 5 minutes, there's a shift in market structure, right? There's a shift in market structure on 5 minutes. So if I say price pull back to fill this fair value gap. Okay, you might see price pull back to fill this fair value gap. Now, what I'm interested in, like I said, if a candle, or sometimes price might not go back to fill this gap. So what I do is, what I want to know is the risk involved. If I decide to sell from this point, my stop loss will be at this level, or a few pips above this level. That will be like 15 pips, which is still within my risk parameter. The maximum risk I take on a trade is 30, 40 pips. So this is even below the risk I normally take on trades. So I can decide to take, let's say, 15 pip risk or 20 pip risk without waiting for price to pull back to fill this gap. Because sometimes price will not pull back. As you know, everything in trading is probability. It's probability. So instead of waiting for price to pull back, since the risk involved, setting my stop loss above this level is still within my risk parameter, I would execute the trade without waiting for price to pull back into this level. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. So that will be all for tonight's session. If you have any question, let me unmute you guys. Please, if there is noise at your end, just mute your mic.
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Please, there is noise. If you can leave that, there is noise at your end, Mr. Emmanuel. I can hear you.
Okay, naturally, we know that during war like this that is going on between Israel and Hamas, gold is supposed to be safe haven. And then gold is supposed to be actually, money is supposed to be diverted to gold soon. But I'm surprised that this season you see gold, you know, instead of going buying sometimes it will be selling. So I don't know what is the responsibility.
Definitely. If investors are investing, a lot of people are investing in gold. That's the mindset, right? That's the psychology. Because of the war between Israel and Palestine, a lot of people want to invest in gold. That's the mindset. So you wouldn't just expect gold to price just keep going up. At some point, some people want to sell to take profits. So there will always be a pullback. Do you get it? There would always be a pullback. If you are seeing a bullish trend on the monthly time frame, on 4-hour time frame or daily time frame, there will be several opportunities to sell. Do you get it? There will be several opportunities to sell, and you can still make money selling. So you just have to know the best price to buy. If your bias is bullish long term, you also need to know the best price to sell. Do you get it? You don't just want to hold on to gold, hoping that it will just keep going up. No, at some point, price must pull back because people bought earlier and have made profits would want to sell. And if they sell, definitely price will drop. And even institutions, if price just keeps going up, the institutions will want to push price down. In doing that, a lot of retail traders, a lot of people who are afraid, who are scared, would sell. They will sell off. Do you get it? They will sell off. So institutions will want price to drop so that they can buy at a very good price to make good profits. Do you get it? So every retail trader is thinking gold should be going up. Gold should be going up. They know. They know how we think. Do you get it? They know how we think. So there will always be pullback. There will always be pullback on lower time frame. So you can take advantage of those pullbacks. 70, 80 pips, 90 pips is something. I hope I answer your question. Perazim, who is this Perazim? Please, can you unmute your mic? Perazim. I want to know if it's a female or male. Perazim, can you hear me? Kesh, what's up? Any good setup for us? Kesh.
Boss, good evening.
Evening.
It's
Yeah,
been
any
a long
sure
time.
setup for us? Because I see you are just killing gold this past few weeks.
Since August, I've been trying to shift from currency pairs. I'm no more trading currency pairs.
Okay. Now you're trading gold,
So,
right?
Gold, Nasdaq, and crude oil.
Okay. I'm considering Nasdaq. But I still need to know the basics.
I only
I need to know value of lot size,
because of
value
the
of
moves.
lot size. I need to know how PIP is being calculated. Those basic things I need to know before I will go.
Okay. I think concerning that, what is most important is the contract size your broker gives you.
It differs or varies from broker to broker?
Yeah, it varies from broker to broker, but the most commonly ones are 100. The contract is 100 with the one I've been using.
100.
So,
What lot size is that?
no, the contract is 100. For currency pair is 10,000.
10,000.
So if you go to MT4, when you enter your broker, if you go to MT4, then click that on that where we have the currency pair, where they have the code. Press it, you will see a kind of pop-up that comes up under it, like where you want to execute